Have you ever wondered what secrets shimmered just beneath the surface of Hollywood's golden age? Behind dazzling gowns and perfect smiles lay a secret world of forbidden love and hushed truths. In an era of illusion, stars' lives became performances. Today's video is all about 20 lesbian stars of the golden age of Hollywood. So, let's quickly dive into the video to unravel the secrets. Number 20, Katharine Hepburn. Katharine Hepburn was an iconic Hollywood actress and Academy Award-winning performer in films like Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, The Lion in Winter, and On Golden Pond.
Darling, you're wrong about your dad. He does care. He cares deeply.
I'm afraid of him.
Well, he's afraid of you, so you should get along fine.
According to the author, Scotty Bowers, Katharine is a woman with an insatiable appetite for women. Bowers shared an amusing instance of a request from Hepburn. "When you get a chance, would you mind finding a sweet young dark-haired girl for me? Someone who isn't too heavily make-upped," she said. Over 5 decades, Bowers and Hepburn became good friends, and Bowers claimed that she procured over 150 different women for Katharine. She also said that Katharine was inconsistent and would only see each girl once or twice before getting tired of them. However, Hepburn's studio promoted the idea that she and her co-star, Spencer Tracy, were in a romantic relationship. But according to accounts, they actually shared a strong friendship. Screenwriter and gay rights activist Larry Kramer commented on the well-known duo, stating that Hepburn and Tracy were both gay. He mentioned that the studio had paired them publicly and added that everyone in Hollywood was aware of this, although he had not seen it documented anywhere. Number 19, Marlene Dietrich. If you go weak at the knees at the sight of a woman in a suit, you have Marlene Dietrich to thank for it. She was the one who wore pants and tuxes on the silver screen at a time when it was unfashionable and changed the way women thought about pants forever. She lived life fearlessly and was well known for her sexuality. Dietrich had relationships with Kay Francis, Edith Piaf, Mercedes DaCosta, and even Greta Garbo. You'll probably be surprised to hear that it was Dietrich's daughter who shared the news about her sexuality. Dietrich's daughter, Maria Riva, opened up more about her mother's sexuality in the year 1992. Even though the star remained married to film producer Rudolph Sieber, Riva revealed that her mother had relationships with men to control and manipulate them, and her relationships with women were fulfilling for her. Critics were hesitant to classify Dietrich as bisexual. As Kenneth Tynan once remarked, Dietrich has sex without gender. Number 18, Greta Garbo. The most beautiful woman in the world, Greta Garbo was legendary for her expressive face, her need for privacy, and her sexuality. During her lifetime, it was never quite clear how she landed on the LGBTQ+ spectrum, but her history remembers her as being distinctly queer. She played a bit of a lover's ping-pong with Mercedes DaCosta, who would run into Marlene Dietrich's arms whenever Garbo discarded her. Writer Diana McClellan researched for her book and found that Garbo's life had passionate relationships with mostly women, except her well-publicized attachment to John Gilbert. Some of the women she wrote love letters to during her life included Swedish actress Mimi Polak, who was her childhood friend, and of course, writer Mercedes DaCosta. Did you know there's evidence suggesting Greta Garbo had a secret relationship with Marlene Dietrich when Garbo was just 19 years old? Number 17, Joan Crawford. Joan Crawford is mostly recognized for her ankle-strap shoes, enlarged shoulder pads, and drinking 100-proof vodka. Joan was always considered a man-eater, but apparently she was bisexual, and this came into limelight only after her death. The public was shocked to learn that she had affairs with Barbara Stanwyck, Marilyn Monroe, Martha Ray, and Marion Morgan. Despite the mystery around her romantic life, Joan Crawford remains a fascinating figure, remembered not only for her iconic roles, but also for the way she helped to change Hollywood.
I don't ask much from you, girl. Why can't you give me the respect that I'm entitled to?
Number 16, Patsy Kelly. Patsy Kelly could be recognized from her roles playing the sassy best friend in the 1930s comedies like The Girl from Missouri and Merrily We Live.
I wonder who brought you up.
Me mother.
She should have given you up.
Kelly was open about her sexuality, and she used to talk about her homosexuality during her career from the 1930s and 1940s. Hats off to Kelly for being courageous enough to tell the public that she was homosexual, unlike many other actors and actresses in the industry at the time. She told magazines that she was living with her girlfriend and never planned on marriage. Kelly also had a relationship with actress Tallulah Bankhead, who was also very open about her attraction to both men and women. She remained in a supporting role throughout her career due to her openness about her sexuality. But today, she has a strong following in the cult classic movie community and is one of the most prominent examples of a celebrity being openly homosexual in early Hollywood. Number 15, Tallulah Bankhead. Tallulah Bankhead was a bold and energetic actress who became famous for her work on stage and in movies.
Listen, how come you know the lingo so well? And how come when I climbed into this lifeboat, you were the only one in it, all dressed up like you knew you were going someplace?
I was going someplace. I was going into a lifeboat. What is this? Are you insinuating?
You seem pretty anxious to stand up for your friend here.
What do you mean, my friend?
She is known for her lively and outgoing personality, and she loved being the center of attention and lived life on her own terms. Tallulah enjoyed changing societal norms, often shocking people with her daring behavior, sharp wit, and free-spirited lifestyle. Whether performing on stage, mingling at parties, or speaking her mind, she pushed boundaries in ways that made her unforgettable. Like Patsy Kelly, she ignored the conventions of her time and marched to the beat of her own drum. Apart from Kelly, she had some of her intimate nights with Mercedes de Acosta, as well as Greta Garbo, Hope Williams, and Barbara Stanwyck. Number 14, Elizabeth Scott. Elizabeth Scott, an actress who is called a poor man's Lauren Bacall, was an attractive blonde bombshell with a smoky voice and stellar acting skill, similar to the legendary Bacall herself.
You grab the next bus out and I'll meet you wherever you say.
I'll go back with you.
I mean, this photo itself shows how beautiful she is. However, she stopped being just an alternate version of someone else. Her unique style and elegance placed her far above her peers in the film industry. Unfortunately, her career was cut short because of a piece of news about her in Confidential magazine in 1954. The magazine accused her of being an atypical with a fondness for baritone babes, a euphemism for lesbians at the time. Even though Scott sued the magazine, she was never able to recover from the stain marked by the magazine on her reputation, and her career came to an end with this.
Tired of expensive, low-effort script writers for your YouTube channel? Autoscripter.ai is the ultimate solution. Say goodbye to low-quality, poorly retention amateur scripts that fail to generate thousands of views for your channel. At a fraction of the cost, Autoscripter.ai helps your videos go viral. In just 3 steps, Autoscripter.ai creates a polished script tailored to your needs. Just input your title concept, select your tone and style. The intuitive interface makes editing and refining effortless, fast, smart, and trusted by hundreds of satisfied users who have already discovered the amazing tool. Start your free trial today and watch Autoscripter.ai transform your YouTube channel. Just click the link in the video description below now.
Number 13, Patricia Highsmith. Patricia Highsmith was a talented but controversial writer, best known for her psychological thrillers and crime novels, like Strangers on a Train and the Ripley series.
Do you object, by the way, to being called a crime writer? Or would you rather be called a novelist?
Well, I think I objected maybe 5 or 6, 7 years ago, but now I don't care. Maybe because they're knocking it off a little bit.
Her books often explored complex human emotions and darker aspects of life, earning her a strong following. But in her personal life, she wasn't exactly easy to be around. Highsmith had a reputation for being misanthropic, which means she didn't always get along with people and had a habit of pushing others away. She had several intense, often explosive relationships, and her rude, unapologetic nature didn't help her cause. She was fiercely independent, but this sometimes made her come across as difficult and cold. Her personal life was filled with scandals. There were rumors about her sexual orientation, and she was known for her sharp, sometimes cruel wit. Highsmith's confrontations and controversial views on various topics earned her a reputation as one of the most challenging figures in literature. Also, she openly criticized Hollywood's treatment of women and actively worked to push against societal norms. Despite the drama, she was a brilliant writer, and her works are still celebrated today for their psychological depth and fascinating plots. Her legacy, however, is also colored by her complex and sometimes rough personality. Even though she passed away in 1995, her reputation for being one of the most difficult women has stuck around, mostly because of her scandalous behavior and public rivalries. Number 12, Ruby Dandridge. Ruby Dandridge is not really popular in the film industry like her daughter Dorothy Dandridge, but Ruby still appeared in huge films like King Kong, Cabin in the Sky, Dead Reckoning, and The War Against Mrs. Hadley.
Do you think that Charlie's going to stay out for dinner with that Bowser girl?
Well, come spring, a young man don't put on a new suit and a fancy tie so he can eat his meals at home.
Nonsense.
Ruby Dandridge eventually left her husband after she had 2 daughters and moved in with Geneva Williams. Writers of the time considered Williams as her lifelong companion, although it is difficult to define this relationship definitively. While the family relocated to Los Angeles in 1929, Williams helped to raise the daughters as Dandridge resumed her acting career. Number 11, Josephine Baker. Josephine Baker is an international star and activist, and is widely known for her bold performances and charisma. She found acceptance in Paris, and she openly expressed her bisexuality, embracing her relationships with both men and women. Apart from her sexuality, she fought against racial injustice. Her unapologetic life and fearless activism made her a symbol of both Black pride and LGBTQ+ representation. Number 10, Ma Rainey. Ma Rainey is known as the mother of the blues, and she was one of the first Black singers to openly discuss same-sex relationships in her music.
I'm on my way, crazy as I can be.
Her song, Prove It On Me Blues, gave a hint of the relationships she had with women. Her openness towards her sexuality has made her a trailblazer in both the music and the LGBTQ+ community by inspiring generations with her authenticity. Number 9, Lorraine Hansberry. Lorraine Hansberry, the playwright of A Raisin in the Sun, was a trendsetter not only in theaters, but also in the LGBTQ+ activism world. She is an open lesbian and has made a mark in fights against civil rights and women's rights, using her work to explore themes of race and identity. Her courage to speak out has made her a symbol of strength and one of the strongest women of the golden age of Hollywood.
It is really before people have largely adopted the designation Black, and she makes it into something that is powerful and beautiful.
Number 8, Barbara Stanwyck. Barbara Stanwyck's private life has been the subject of much speculation, particularly regarding her sexuality. Stanwyck was known for her fiercely independent nature and guarded personal life, which fueled rumors. She had 2 short-lived marriages, to vaudevillian Frank Fay and actor Robert Taylor, both of which were reportedly troubled. After her divorce from Taylor in 1951, she never remarried and maintained a private lifestyle, often surrounded by close female friends.
Well, they took away all my privileges. But there's one privilege they can't take away from me.
One of the most important figures in her life was her publicist and confidant, Helen Ferguson, with whom she enjoyed a deep and meaningful professional and personal connection. While there's some assumption about Ferguson's role, hinting at a bond that was possibly deeper than friendship, Stanwyck also fosters strong and sometimes protective relationships with other women in the industry. However, she chose not to publicly comment on the rumors regarding her sexual orientation. Number 7. Alla Nazimova. Alla Nazimova was one of Hollywood's first openly queer stars, which was pretty bold for her time. She started out in Russia, made it big on Broadway, and then became a silent film icon in the 1910s and 1920s. Nazimova had relationships with several women, including actresses like Eva Le Gallienne, writer Mercedes de Acosta, and director Dorothy Arzner. Did you know that Nazimova came up with a word that is used as a code for a group of lesbian and bisexual women in Hollywood? What do you think it is? Well, it's called the Sewing Circle. Also, Nazimova lived in this amazing mansion on Sunset Boulevard called the Garden of Allah, where she threw legendary parties that became a safe space for LGBTQ+ people. But here's the twist. Despite being a lesbian, Nazimova also had a marriage with actor Charles Bryant. But it wasn't legally binding. It was more for show, while both of them had other relationships. She never exhibited her personal life, but she didn't hide who she was either, which was incredibly brave for that era. Number 6. Mercedes de Acosta. Mercedes de Acosta was a writer, poet, and playwright who's most famous for her bold and unapologetic lifestyle. She was openly lesbian at a time when most people had to keep that part of themselves hidden. Mercedes had a long list of rumored and confirmed relationships with some of the most glamorous women of her time, including actress Greta Garbo, Marlene Dietrich, Isadora Duncan, and Alla Nazimova. Mercedes was known for falling passionately in love and writing romantic letters and poems to her lovers. Her affair with Greta Garbo was one of the most talked about, though Garbo was very private and didn't want it made public. Mercedes, on the other hand, was much more open, and later in life she wrote a memoir, Here Lies the Heart, which hinted at her many relationships, though not everyone was happy about that. She was also part of the same social circles as other queer women in Hollywood, like Nazimova and writer Dorothy Parker. Mercedes truly welcomed the drama of life, whether in her relationships or her remarkable work. She boldly navigated her journey, rewriting the societal rules of her time. Today, she shines brightly as an inspiring and fearless figure in LGBTQ+ history. Number 5. Claudette Colbert. Claudette Colbert, the glamorous star of Hollywood's golden age, is best known for her charming roles in classics like It Happened One Night.
Clever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but number 2, that's a little wider movement. Smile goes with this one like this. That means you get a brand new story about the farmer's daughter.
You figured that out all by yourself, huh?
Yeah.
While she was publicly married twice, there have long been rumors that Colbert may have been bisexual or lesbian. She was very private about her personal life, but some Hollywood insiders have suggested that she had relationships with women, including her close friendship with actress Marlene Dietrich, which some believe was romantic. Colbert spent much of her later life with a woman named Helen O'Hagan, who was a successful marketing executive. They lived together for many years in Barbados, which has led many to speculate that they were more than just friends. Just like many shining stars of her era, Colbert kept her sexuality close to her heart. After all, being open about it could have been threatening to her career. However, her beautiful connection with O'Hagan and the story surrounding her life has woven her into the rich tapestry of LGBTQ+ history. Whatever the truth behind the whispers, Colbert bravely lived life on her own terms, embracing her independence and stepping away from Hollywood's glare when she felt the need to work. Number 4, Dorothy Arzner. Dorothy Arzner was a trendsetter in Hollywood, not just as one of the few women directors in the 1920s and 1930s, but also as someone who lived openly as a lesbian during a very conservative time. She directed major films starring big names like Katharine Hepburn, Joan Crawford, and Rosalind Russell. And her career made her a standout in the male-dominated industry. In her personal life, Arzner had a long-term relationship with Marion Morgan, a choreographer and dancer. The two were together for 40 years, living openly as a couple in Hollywood circles, which was incredibly rare for the time. Arzner was known for dressing in more of a masculine style, often wearing tailored suits, which made her stand out even more. Remember about the Sewing Circle? Well, she was a part of Hollywood's Sewing Circle, which was a group of queer women in the industry who supported each other while keeping their personal lives discreet. Arzner didn't hide who she was, but she didn't flaunt it either. She focused on her work and her private life with Morgan. Number 3, Eva Le Gallienne. Eva Le Gallienne was a talented actress, producer, and director who played a big role in American theater. Eva had a vibrant and passionate journey of relationships with remarkable women, such as writer Mercedes de Acosta, stage actress Alla Nazimova, and poet Edna St. Vincent Millay. Her love life often beautifully intertwined with her professional world, as she collaborated closely with many of the incredible women she cherished. She dedicated herself to her work and even went on to establish her very own theater company to uplift serious plays and foster emerging actors, all while gracefully navigating a society that wasn't quite ready to embrace her lifestyle. Number 2, Marion Davies. Marion Davies was a popular actress in the 1920s and 1930s, known for her beauty and charm in both silent film and talkies. She was also famous for a long relationship with newspaper magnate William Randolph Hearst. But there's been gossip about her personal life beyond that. While most of the focus was on her relationship with Hearst, some people believe Marion had romantic relationships with women, though she never spoke publicly about her sexuality. One of the rumored women she had a relationship with was actress and singer Joan Crawford, but these rumors have never been confirmed. Marion was very private about her personal life, and it was common for people in Hollywood at the time to keep their relationships out of the public eye, especially if they were unconventional. Number 1, Bette Davis. Bette Davis, one of the most iconic actresses in Hollywood history, was known for her fierce talent and powerful presence on screen.
She's a young lady of qualities. And I'll have you know I'm fed up with both the young lady and her qualities. Studying me as if I were a play or a blueprint, how I walk, talk, think, act, sleep.
While she was publicly married 4 times, there have long been rumors about her personal life, particularly her relationships with women. Davis was very private about her sexuality, but many believe she had romantic connections with several women, including actress and writer Mercedes de Acosta. Davis was known for her intense, often complicated personal relationships, and she had strong bonds with several of her female colleagues. Some people have judged that these relationships went beyond friendship, but Davis never publicly acknowledged any romantic connections with women. She was also part of a larger network of queer women in Hollywood who, at the time, had to keep their relationships and sexual identities private due to societal pressures. Like many stars of the era, Davis focused on her career and didn't speak openly about her personal life in public. Well, that's the end of today's video. Did we miss any stars? If yes, please do comment below. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to click on the bell icon as well. If you liked our content, Here's another video about 20 secretly alcoholic stars of the golden age of Hollywood. This literally has all the Hollywood gossip of alcoholic stars in one video. So run, quickly watch it.